Hello and welcome back to the Scale Model Pursuit. Today I'm going to show you how I built this really cool wheel set, this upgrade set for the RC166 motorcycle. These parts are tiny and I'm not going to lie, this was difficult. Fortunately, Tamiya provided this tool to help hold the wheel while you're threading all the spokes, so that did help a lot. First I'm going to start off though with cutting out all the center wheel parts, getting them sanded down, ready to paint. Here I'm just drying the parts. They had some residual alcohol on them from the cleaning step. And then it's always fun trying to figure out how to hold these things. So in this case I'm using a toothpick. Other parts you can get creative. I used some AK elastic putty here and slipped the part on. Held it really well. And then it's time to prime using my favorite primer, Mr. Servicer 1500 Black. Goes on really well with Mr. Leveling Thinner. So this paint will dry kind of a satin sheen to it, but after this I'm going to put Gloss Black from Alclad 2, and that provides a nice shiny gloss undercoat for metal finishes. So in this case I chose airframe aluminum, and that's going to give it a very shiny sheen, very shiny finish, and that'll get toned down later, you'll see after handling it. But look at the shine on that. Yeah, after handling these parts and using Instaset later on in the video, you'll see it kind of gives it a little bit of a tarnished look, which I actually kind of like how it turned out in the end. But Tamiya gives you these little adhesive back stickers here, and that's to help hold the little fixture together and to help hold the parts to the fixture. This rim is just beautifully machined, and right there I was trying to find where the valve stem goes, and here you're supposed to line the valve stem up to the line on the jig there, and I finally found it again. I had lost it because it's so small. Now the real fun begins, trying to put all these small parts together. I noticed in the instructions that there is a specific direction, and that's because the holes in the rim are at an angle, so it's only going to go together one way, so I had to be real careful about the way I did this. Once the spokes were in place, I used some micro crystal clear PVA glue just to hold them temporarily so I could manage them while I was trying to install the rest of them. This also comes in really handy later when you're trying to thread the spokes into the rim. spindle installed, I can now drop it into the jig, and this will help align the center hub. This is the front wheel, so it has the disc brake on it. So that's what those little louvers are around the center hub there. And threading the spokes in, I kind of made it look a little easier the way this is edited, but it did take a little while. Some spokes were more trouble than others, but in the end, the only thing I didn't like is scratching the rim slightly, just trying to get some of the more stubborn spokes to go in the hole there. Here's the spoke nipples. Very difficult to handle. I did notice later when I was editing this video that the instructions say you can create your own little stick, so to speak, by trimming a piece of sprue and making an adhesive end to it. But I did want to leave this in here to show that it was a bit of a struggle to try and grab these little guys and stick them in there. So, but in the end, made it worthwhile because the result is pretty good in my opinion. That one just was not going to have it today. I think I finally got it. With a little encouragement, it drops in. And then I used a little bit of CA glue, and on this one I actually used Instaset, so I sprayed a little bit of the Instaset onto the rim. Unfortunately, that kind of tarnished the paint job on the center hub there, so I decided not to do that on the rear wheel. Here's the beauty of the PVA glue. It peeled off pretty easily. As you can see, the end result is pretty good. I mean, the level of detail on this rim is outstanding in my opinion, and even the little valve stems. Now it's time to move on to the shoes, to the tires. Giving it a little sand, you know, just to kind of give it a slightly worn look to it, like it's been used a little bit anyway. And then once I did that, I decided to hit it with a little bit of oil paints just to kind of highlight some of the features on the tire, especially the lettering is really cool. So I just used a little bit of titanium white and some Payne's gray, mixed that up. Off camera, I ended up adding a little bit of yellow ochre to it as well to make it look a little dirtier, so for the final result it had a little bit more brown in it. As you can see, this is pretty light. I would have done a darker if I had to do it over again, but I actually did again kind of end up liking how it looked. Looked like it had some dust in it. Looks like it had been used a little bit, and especially how the lettering turned out. After removing the excess wash, I was ready to try installing the tire onto the rim to see what the final result would look like. And there it is. Really happy with how the rim ends up looking. I can't wait to see this on the finished motorcycle model. Really happy with this upgrade kit. Would highly recommend it. So with the engine done and the wheel upgrade set done, I've been working on the frame and I'm really excited about some of the detail I've been able to put into that. So until then, blessings on your pursuits. See you soon.